Mozart's String Quartet in D minor, K421, has long been regarded as a pinnacle of chamber music composition. This explainer is a thorough exploration of Van Buskirk's poem, which is the title to his String Quartet No. 3, which is repurposed from a dissertation by Alexa Vivian Wilkes, a dissertation that illuminates the intricacies of editorial discrepancies within Mozart's celebrated quartet. Through an examination of the poem's content, we delve into the nuanced question of conceptual art and appropriation, historical preservation, publishing practices, and the ever-evolving landscape of musical interpretation. Van Buskirk's poetic title was written to describe the contents of his String Quartet No. 3 in extreme detail, the contents being a modified version of Alexa Vivian Wilkes' dissertation titled The Biography of a String Quartet, Mozart's String Quartet in D minor, K421. Van Buskirk essentially removed all traces of the body text and left the musical examples and footnotes behind. Spanning 4 verses or movements to a quartet, the poem draws attention to specific measures and pages across multiple editions, highlighting variations in the representation of the musical score. With precision, the poem documents these discrepancies for various instruments, including violin 1, violin 2, viola, and cello. By doing so, it paints a picture of the complexity inherent across different editions and historical contexts. Van Buskirk's poem captures the challenges faced by editors and engravers over the course of history. The discrepancies outlined within the poem reflect the evolution of engraving techniques, notation standards, and publishing practices. From early editions such as Artaria 1785 to more modern publications from 1942 and 2010, Van Buskirk's poem sheds light on the shifting priorities and constraints that have influenced the presentation of Mozart's quartet. The cataloging of editorial discrepancies within Mozart's String Quartet aligns it with the conceptual framework often found in conceptual catalog type writing projects. Like these projects, Van Buskirk's poem assumes the role of an archival document, recording variations across different editions as if assembling a comprehensive inventory. By amalgamating the musical examples derived from different editions, the poem essentially becomes a blueprint for a performance, offering musicians a distinctive way to navigate through the variations presented in different historical versions of the quartet. But the poem also takes on the role of a score by repurposing Wilkes' dissertation into a new string quartet. The textual content, or body text, of Wilkes' dissertation was completely removed, and the musical examples were left on the page, resulting in a new string quartet that transcends traditional boundaries between literature and musical notation. The musical excerpts now act as a set of instructions for Van Buskirk's String Quartet No. 3, allowing performers to interpret and integrate the distinct phrasings, dynamics, articulations, and stylistic choices present in various editions. This metamorphosis from textual dissertation to poem to string quartet aligns Van Buskirk's work with conceptual art, where the poem takes on an instructional role that simultaneously engages with the realms of musical performance and literary deconstruction. Van Buskirk's work finds inspiration in T.S. Eliot's masterpiece, 4 Quartets. In 4 Quartets, the quartet form becomes a metaphorical framework through which Eliot contemplates the intricacies of existence, reflecting a profound connection between literature and musical structure. Eliot's exploration of quartets as both a poetic form and a metaphysical exploration serves as a guiding light for Van Buskirk's endeavor. While Van Buskirk's work draws inspiration from T.S. Eliot's 4 Quartets, there are notable differences in approach between the two compositions. Eliot's quartets are renowned for their metaphysical depth and lyrical exploration of complex philosophical themes, often rendered in free verse that flows with a contemplative rhythm. In contrast, Van Buskirk's poem is characterized by its meticulous detailing of editorial discrepancies and is an example of conceptual art, for which the idea or concept behind the work is more important than the finished art object. In 4 Quartets, the title itself alludes to the musical form, and Eliot uses the metaphor of a quartet to explore time, spirituality, and the intricacies of human experience. This reference to music as a vehicle for profound reflection resonates deeply with Van Buskirk, who channels the essence of a musical composition into a conceptual poetic work that doubles as both a catalog of editorial variations and a set of instructions for musical interpretation. The thematic lineage from Eliot's contemplation of quartets to Van Buskirk's creative endeavor underscores the enduring power of the quartet form, whether in music or literature, as a vessel for the exploration of intricate ideas and creative expression. In conclusion, Van Buskirk's String Quartet No. 3 stands as a convergence of literature, conceptual art, and musical notation. Through its amalgamation of musical examples, it becomes a living artifact. Thank you for joining us on this explainer. We appreciate your time and interest.